Sunday Goddess Services with the Women of the Goddess Temple of Orange County, August 1st, celebrating Isis on the theme pruning. Here we are on Women's early autumn Goddess Services, where every woman is priestess at her own altar and queen of her own realm and goddess embodied. And just settle into that. And as new women come in, just let them be seated. Talking today about pruning and sacrifice, boundaries, the heart, and the Queen Archetype. And here you have a beautiful image of one of the oldest known statues of our goddess we are celebrating today, Isis. We believe there is one great mother, one great goddess, and she has 10,000 names. And this is from somewhere around 600 BCE, this beautiful, somewhat rough image of Isis, but look how exquisite that is.
I can't see that.
Your facilitators today, who are not completely hysterical, are Mata and Marcia, our Naiad priestesses. Myself, who is getting over her hysteria. How about that? With the help of Petra. Thank you, Petra and Marcia. So our intention together today is to allow ourselves to understand completely what must be pruned for our greater good, and let us surrender to this process.
Pure, clean, refreshing water.
Oh, blessed be. Feel your eternal radiance shining with that beauty. And take a moment to say your own name softly and acknowledge your own mother for giving you life. Whatever your relationship was with her, whether it was good or bad or a little bit of both, whether she's crossed over or still in the body, she created your body. And feel your gratitude for that one great gift that she gave you. She brought you into this world in the original shamanic magic that's original to woman. She brought information from the spirit world to this with her magic. So bless her for that. And we call upon Priestess Mata to acknowledge the ancestresses of our land and her land and everyone's land who is with us on the call.
As we look to the space that we are in, the land that we are on, there are ancestresses, whether you know their names or not, those who walked and lived on this land long before you have, but are here with us now. Acknowledge these ancestresses. Ancestresses, you who are the land, you who walked and stirred up the dust beneath your feet that is around ours now. You whose every breath is in the air that we breathe. We acknowledge you and we ask permission to do this sacred holy work. The Ahashman tribe, those who are the shining ones of the mountain peaks of my land. We feel that you have given this permission. You are here, you are here, you are here. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. We call upon Priestess Marcia to lead us in acknowledging the directions. And Naiad Priestess Marcia acknowledged the quarters and elements of east and air, south and fire, west and water, and north and earth.
Free, whole into herself, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Guides and guardians, totem animals, those who have been with us since the beginning of time, those who will be with us till the end of time, of which there is none, for we are forever. You who speak to us, you who guide us, you who protect us, you who have words of wisdom, understanding and knowing, we welcome you. You are here, you are here, you are here. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. Great Mother, you of 10,000 names, you, the nameless, the ineffable, the one that there is only one of, the one consciousness, the one great power for good that lives in everything created, that is alive in everything created. We say there are no inanimate objects, stones, soil, water, clouds. Everything is alive. Everything is alive. Everything is alive. And you are here. You are here. You are here. Hail and welcome. So if you have made an altar, then please charge your sacreds by placing them on the altar and make your offerings to your own altar. And we say, we are in sacred space. We are in sacred space. Blessed be. So just relax and rest easy in your chair. The seasons and woman's archetypes within go in this order in our culture: spring, the maiden; summer, the mother; autumn, the queen; winter, the wise woman. And that image that you see there is a Romanized version of Isis and the symbol of our Naiad priestesses. This season of autumn marks the beginning of the Queen season, which is autumn. August marks the beginning. And the Queen archetype, as most of you know, is she within us who holds a vision for life, healthy, good boundaries, and great gratitude that she may magnetize even more to live well. We're reviewing, for those of you who may be new, the Queen is the architect of life, and we believe the true leader of humanity. And we teach about the 4 powers of woman: the maiden, the mother, the queen, and the wise woman in our Queen teachings. You can find out more about that. The maiden is the explorer, the mother is the creatrix, the queen is the architect, the wise woman is the wisdom holder. You have to decide if this is your cup of tea. If you're interested in this, you can have the first 2 classes, video classes, free if you just email us. We'll send you the 2 first classes free of charge. And autumn includes the autumn equinox, the time of the balance of light and dark, and the balance between the heart and the mind. And this is a time for us to think about what needs to be pruned away so that your greater harvest can come forth later. Also, the Queen archetype is she who holds boundaries for the good of all. And we'll talk more about boundaries shortly. This is also the season of harvest, August, September, and October. And harvest comes in 2 parts for the farmer. This month, August, and a little bit of September, is called the first harvest in Old Europe. And it was the first of the fruits coming in, but it wasn't the full harvest. By September, your full harvest should come in, normally does come in. But right now, this is a time that the farmer prunes to experience the fullest harvest in September. At this time, the farmer prunes away what is uselessly sucking energy from the developing fruit on the vines. To learn from nature, we ask ourselves the question, what could be pruned away from our lives that we may enjoy a fuller harvest later? Could it be something related to our health? Maybe a bad health habit that we could consider letting go of? Could it be something about relationship, an old relationship that maybe we're hanging on to out of habit, something not serving either of you? Could it be something about money? Might you prune away seemingly harmless little habits that waste your money in dribbles? Or are some of us laughing? Or perhaps emotional spending. I've experienced this when I was working so hard, driving myself so hard. I often noticed that I would, as a form of relief, go buy myself something, just like entertainment, go shopping for something I didn't really need, and maybe to sort of treat myself because I, quote, had worked so hard. But I wouldn't have needed to go buy myself something if I had just treated myself well in the first place. That would have, and I did finally figure out how to do that. Although I will completely admit to you all that I still like to buy a nice thing now and again. Could it be something about your spirituality? What could you prune from your life that might be preventing you from your greater connection to spirituality? Might it be Netflix? So August is the season of pruning, sacrifice, and boundaries, that we may live richer, fuller, and more intentional lives. So today we're asking ourselves to consider what we might prune from our lives so that we can, as we always say in the Queen teachings, live life as it was always meant to be for us as individuals. Let's talk about sacrifice. Sacrifice comes from a root word meaning to make sacred. And sacrifice sometimes, it feels painful because we as women are trained to hold on. That love means you hold on no matter what. And certainly there must be some truth in that, obviously. But sometimes love is letting go. Let's make that a meme. It's not sacrifice, making something sacred is not necessarily just holding on or letting go. It's realizing ourselves as the choosers, as the architects of life, and realizing that sometimes we have to cut something away from our lives that everyone, us and others in our lives, can live well and follow their true path. So we have to allow ourselves to truly make sacred our lives, to truly sacrifice in the best sense of the word. Let's talk about boundaries. As women, we are trained in a patriarchy to have pretty much no boundaries whatsoever, to accede to the demands of others more or less constantly. And women with boundaries are often called not nice. They're often called selfish. They're often called aggressive. And it's interesting that most people, when they hear the word boundaries, they pretty much think of a fence. But this is not at all what boundaries are. It's not a fence that keeps things out and away from you, because a fence would keep everything away from you. Boundaries are simply those things which you choose to define you, the limits of what you accept, and of course, by implication, what you will not accept. So let's talk about that a little bit, boundaries, and consider this season what our boundaries might be. But Mata and Marcia, we were having this conversation yesterday about boundaries and talking about how boundaries are not a fence. Boundaries are what you choose to define your life, yourself. And I was saying something like, you don't even have to focus on being so aggressive about what you choose not to accept and talking about that all the time. Just focus on what you do accept, because inherent in that is the implication that if you only choose, say, respectful speaking for your life, then obviously it does go without saying that disrespectful speaking cannot be included in that, you know? So I choose for this circle and my own life, I choose as a boundary respectful speaking. That's what I say I accept in my life. And by implication, anyone who does not speak respectfully is not entitled to be in my space. And I will vote with my feet, and I will walk away from them if I can. And if I can't, if it's some other kind of relationship, then I will find a way to deal with it.
Well, one of the things that I think about boundaries is that it helps me to stay safe. It's a way of being safe, but not in a way that I'm putting up a fence. It's more of a way of life for me. If I don't want wrong speaking, one of the things that I did with my children is being polite. That is a boundary. I want you to always be polite. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you, please, and allowing other people to speak. One of the things that I talk about in my family is allowing everyone to speak without interruption.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes. Without saying stop talking, just and one of the things that I've learned through the Queen teachings and the Goddess Temple is, are you complete?
Oh, yes, we always say that,
So,
don't we? Are you complete? Yes.
At the end, when I'm finished, I say I am complete. And that sets up for the next person to speak and be able to be heard. One of the things that I think about boundaries is that when I think about that, I think of how it says who I am, what I stand for.
Right.
I'm standing for something. I'm not standing against. I'm talking about what I'm standing for.
Mm.
And by saying what I stand for, it also, as Ava said, implies what I'm not standing for. So I don't have to say, I don't stand for this. I stand for the quality of life for women, quality of life for children, and safety, respect, loving kindness. Those are the things that I stand for. I stand for peace. And my life should be reflecting that. Is it always possible? No, because there are times when there are some situations where a clear boundary needs to be set, and that means maybe I separate myself, as opposed to saying I'm standing here and you can't pass here. That it's okay, I'm separating myself. I'm withdrawing my consent from this situation. I am complete.
I was waiting. I wasn't going to interrupt her. I was waiting for that. And that's a part of boundaries, is why it's with the Queen Archetype, is because boundaries comes out of your vision, doesn't it? You know, you have this vision for life. And a part of my vision for life is respectful speaking. I use that a lot as an example. And so that's part of my vision. And so that must be one of my boundaries. You know, when you enter this space that I'm responsible for, that I'm technically queen of, because I'm 100% responsible for this home. When you enter this space, you must agree to respectful speaking. In the guest room, I have a list of things that I expect that are the vision of this home and this realm. And every guest is invited to read that. So, Mata, can you share your thoughts on boundaries for women today?
So when you prune, you're also letting in air and sunlight. You're creating spaciousness. So this spaciousness is really important for us to create a lot of we're pruning away the things that are kind of muddling our journey, kind of muddling our focus. And it may seem like it's like, oh no, I can't cut that butt off. I can't cut that new shoot. I can't cut that off. But yeah, you can, because it's not gone forever. It's going to come back, and you're going to be more focused later. Because sometimes we're not walking our destiny or our fate or our path or our vision because we just got a little sidetracked on something, focusing on something that wasn't really to our best interest and was not in alignment with our vision. That happens all the time. It's okay, because you can always get back on track. Easy, easy peasy. Our alignment with our vision is like tuning into a station. So no other stations can jump in and just start playing our tune if we don't want them to.
Right.
So, all right, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Are you, wait, you didn't say it. Are you complete?
I'm complete. Yes.
So let us hear from you, Dr. Mailuna, on boundaries. And you look beautiful today.
Thank you so much. The way I've designed that for myself is I call them love boundaries. And my clients seem to like that as well, because it removes protection, or as you showed us, fences, but it's having the love, respect for ourselves and for others. So during this time of getting clear, cleaning, pruning, let us set love boundaries that truly allow us to live our best life, our dreams, and stay very clear and discerning at the same time.
Ah, and are you going to be visiting us next month when we are celebrating Kuan Yin?
It's looking good. I will text you tomorrow.
Oh, nothing would please me more than to have you physically in circle with us once again. We will get the champagne and we will celebrate.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, Vajrama, I'm so glad to see you. I did not expect to see you on this call today. I know you, we all know how much your life has changed and how busy you are. This is a great gift for you to add your energy to our circle and tell us you don't have to talk about boundaries. You can talk about anything you darn well want. What do you want to share today?
Thank you. I didn't think I would want to share, but I'm so inspired by the information about boundaries, and I wasn't, obviously I'm not prepared to come on screen, but I'm going to drop my band.
We love you. You look beautiful.
Been milking the goats and doing the garden, everything, all by my lonesome. Boundaries, I would like to reiterate what Wolfgang, my beloved Wolfgang, said. I'm going to try not to cry. He said, without boundaries, there is no life. Every cell in the body has a boundary. It cannot receive nourishment unless it has a boundary. It cannot release the waste and remain healthy unless it has a boundary. And he said that women are the boundary keepers, down to the very egg, because the egg is not penetrated by a sperm. The egg goes, up, opens up and swallows the sperm. It chooses the sperm. So woman is the boundary keeper. And so it's so important, your Queen teachings and the whole boundary issue in the world today, because women have to say no. No to war, no to men who do not respect women, no to obliterating the term and the word woman, and woman's exclusive power to be mother. And so that's how important boundaries are.
Thank you for bringing forth the information on the egg, because it seems like a small point, but it's the beginning of human life. The egg chooses the sperm. The way it's been presented in patriarchy is that it's this battle between the power of the sperm, all the different sperms, and this great battle, you know, charging towards this sort of helpless, stationary, passive egg that's just sort of hanging there in space, doing nothing. And I mean, Petra's laughing at me, but I mean, it's kind of the way it's been presented to us. And the strongest sperm is the one who battles his way into the egg, you know, punching his way through the membrane. And that's not it at all. It's like a completely false paradigm. And women must learn that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Anna, do you have is something you'd like to share on the topic of boundaries? And what you should know about Anna is that she is newly married. And I wonder if boundaries has come up for you in that change in your life.
That is hilarious. Yeah, it has. I feel extremely grateful, very grateful, to have this particular partner. It's wonderful, and to have the freedom to discuss goddess and to discuss my beliefs and to go back and forth about what I'm feeling and to make the space for what he's feeling and how he's growing. And that said, he's got to be gone 3 days a week or I just can't deal. Just can't deal. So I can do this half the time and be pretty good at it. But such are my boundaries at this time. And I have to accept that and allow that. It's who I am, and it makes me better when I do communicate and am active in the world and am giving and participating. I participate better when I have the recharge time by myself, and I am complete.
Blessed be. And we have beautiful Patricia Gallet on. And Patricia, do you have something you'd like to share, some wisdom on boundaries?
Gosh, it's something I myself am working on. And so I truly appreciated when you said it's not putting up a fence. It's being open, and it's what defines us. So I think that's easier to work with, at least for me. What do I stand for? And like someone else was saying, it's what you are open to and what you hold, not what you're against. So thank you very much. I am complete.
Very good.
I'm grateful to have found the Goddess Temple because I did not know anything about the Queen Archetype and what she represents. And I am definitely in that stage, although we are always all queens at any age. So I'm glad that I found this because I know now that it is okay to set boundaries. I used to have no boundaries and be very much a people pleaser and that kind of thing. And I've learned as I've gotten older through experience and through the Queen teachings that boundaries are going to save my life. And in this case of the rather mundane thing, they're going to keep me from being infested with fleas. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Blessed be. And thank you for all the incredible work you do rescuing cats. That is an amazing, amazing thing that you have created, and you've helped so many living beings. And I am just so grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gypsy, you're with us. I'm so glad to see you today, sister. Do you have something you'd like to share about boundaries?
Yeah, boundaries is something that I just recently learned about in my 60 years. And they have saved my life. And I learned that it's not selfish. and I am queen, and I love myself now for the first time. I'm in my glorious crowndom, and this is the best time of my life.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
I am so grateful to you, Ava, and for the temple, because even though I'm far away, I'm here in the Midwest, in the middle of the cornfields, and I follow you, and I love you all, and I've always been with her, and she's always been with me, and we are more alike than different. Blessed be to all of you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
And please help me with my fleas too. I'm battling them big time.
You know what? In the social hour that follows, I'll give you all my anti-flea information. I have some good stuff on that. Good stuff.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Wrapping up on boundaries, let's consider this season what our boundaries are right now, what we choose to accept in our life. Have you made them clear to people? Have you made your boundaries clear, what you're choosing to accept? Do you need more or different boundaries? What defines you? What will you accept for your life? Let's talk very briefly about the heart. The Queen Archetype is the archetype of this season, as we said, and it's associated with the heart, the gateway to infinity. The heart has neurons that hold and send information just like your brain, just exactly like your brain. It has 40,000 neurons, the same as in the brain. So they call this the little brain, but I think it's kind of the other way around, because the fact is that science tells us that your physical heart sends many more messages to the brain than vice versa. Now, we've been told that the brain is the controller of the human body. And of course, in many ways it is. But isn't it interesting that your heart, which I always call the gateway to infinity, your heart sends many more messages, electrical messages, to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And you just think of the potential implications in that. What does that mean? What is the heart saying to our brain? What messages? We kind of know what our brain is thinking, you know, a lot of the time, maybe not always. You know, there is the subconscious, the unconscious, but we know what our brain is thinking consciously. What's our heart trying to tell us? That we need to check in with that. So this season, before you make any decisions about your life, stop and check in with your heart. It has far greater divine intelligence than the brain. Well, make a transition for yourself, and let's talk about the aspect of goddess for August, Isis. And here's one of Mata's favorite images of Isis with serpents. She's known, I think all of you know a lot about Isis, and probably some of you know more about her than I do. But basically, she's known for gathering up the scattered parts of her husband. And when she could not find the last part, which happened to be the penis, that penis is always going somewhere it shouldn't, always getting lost somewhere. Where is the penis? She just fashioned a new one. She just made a gold one. She says, all right, well, can't find your old penis, here's a new one. And so what I think that is meant to teach us is that it is woman who fashions life and its parts. It was no big deal to her that she couldn't find his penis. It was no big deal because she could just make another one. You know, that's like that's what women do. We make bodies, we make parts, we make life. So Isis is venerated as a great mother. Her son, of course, Horus, bird-headed, falcon-headed goddess. And just as an aside, We do not permit any terrorist group to use her name. Please do not ever call ISIS, the ISIL or Daesh, ISIS. That is ruining the morphic field of her name, and we do not accept that her name can be used in this way. So call them ISIL, ISIL, or better yet, call them Daesh, or just call them ignorant, disconnected people who need a good lesson from me. How about that? She's venerated all over the world to this day. Here's a Romanized form of Isis in her crone aspect. You can see that maybe she began in Egypt, but she has moved. She's so powerful. Her principles are so powerful that she's moved throughout the entire world. Ceremonies are held in her honor worldwide. The top picture is, you see, I'm sorry you can't see her face, but that's my beloved friend Marcy at Karen Tate's, Reverend Karen Tate's, one of her wonderful navigatums that she had for many years. And she asked me to play Cleopatra. And so you see me in my Cleopatra hat over on the far right, kind of in the background. And then Marcy is the second from the right in white, facing the group. We went to the ocean and we pushed our little boats off with our wishes. That was one of the forms of the Isis navigatum, to put your wish in a boat and then go to the seashore, all in a big long procession. Cleopatra would lead, the one we know as Cleopatra, who's really Cleopatra the Seventh. She was not the first Cleopatra, and she would lead her people with her sistrum. She would lead them to the seashore, and everyone would push their boats off into sea. And so these navigatums are still held worldwide. Isis is still venerated. And as I say, Cleopatra embodied Isis for her people in ceremonies, going to the ocean. And that was called the navigatum or the navigum Isidis. And this goes back thousands of years. And you can do this anytime you're at the ocean. Fashion a little boat for yourself of, something, some little non-littering thing that will just sort of biodegrade, and put your wish in it and set it off into the waves. Isis is the embodiment of the Queen Archetype, blended with the Good Mother. She's been venerated for thousands and thousands of years, and so we honor her name today. Oh yes, all hail Isis. Isis within us. All hail Isis. All hail Isis. All hail Isis. Make a transition for yourself. We are focused in our prayers for women all over the world, in supporting women everywhere, in understanding that some things must be pruned, some boundaries must be held, and that life may be better supported and lived well for all if this is done. And here you see an image of Egyptian women holding a boundary on their government. Let us connect to this energy that they have, that they are working on.
So we center ourselves in our hearts, seeing the women of the world, their hearts becoming one with ours, as it truly is. We ask, Great Goddess, and all the energies of spirit and angels and guides and guardians, those who speak to us, to send a message that they may hear, that they matter, that what they're doing is important to the pruning of humanity. We ask that they hear your voice, to know what to prune, to know what to keep, to know where to set the boundaries, to know their heart is their power, is the fullness of all that is, bringing forth the love and energies to our world that we wish, that which we wish, that which we create, our visions, your vision, their vision. Oh, blessed be.
Blessed be.
Sisters, we stand with you. We affirm all that is life affirming, all that is sacred, as you prune away and begin to reap the harvest of that which you stand for. We affirm the boundaries that you are setting, the love boundaries. I love that. Thank you, Dr. Malina. Love boundaries. Because it's through love, through the heart, that you are standing there making a plea and standing for the good of all people. It's out of love that we pull away, that we stand united in sacrifice and in harmony for that which will be for the good of all, not just for one, but for the good of all. As sovereign queens in your own right, all that you are 100% responsible for,
Yes.
we stand with you. As we, sister queens, stand whole and complete for our own realm,
Yes.
for the good of all. Blessed be. Ashe.
Blessed be. We take this prayer held in our hearts and we allow it to move from the Bindu point, which is our body, moving from this circle, both physical and virtual, because it is one. We let it go north. We let it go east. We let it go south. We let it go west until it is moving across the land through the clouds, the silver clouds and the blue sky overhead. And wherever it receives a welcome, wherever there is a woman anywhere on this planet who is open to receiving the goodness and energy and Shakti and life force and prana of this prayer, let her lift her face to this prayer now, coming down like nourishing raindrops, washing her dusty, tired face clean. And let her stick her tongue out and receive the refreshing drops of this prayer, like rain on her tongue, cool and refreshing. Let it enter her body and let her spine straighten. Let her shoulders go back. Let her feel renewed. Let this happen. It is happening right now, moving across the face of this earth, this prayer to all who would receive it, to all women 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 who would receive it. It is done. It is done. It is done. Blessed be. Let us honor Carol Christ. Many of you may not know her well, but she has been dedicated to Goddess pretty much her entire life. She crossed over recently at age 75, far too young as for my preferences, but Goddess didn't ask me, so I have to deal with it. She wrote many wonderful books. She has many wonderful sayings. She was a professor teaching. She was an icon in Goddess spirituality. She says, in my book, this is just one of her books, I specifically discussed the structural nature of injustice and offered 9 touchstones of goddess ethics as an alternative to the 10 commandments of Judeo-Christian biblical religion. And if that doesn't make you want to read her books, nothing will. She says, theologians frequently assert that God has no body, no gender, no race, no age. Most people state that God is neither male nor female, yet most people become flustered, upset, or even angry when it is suggested that the God they know as Lord and Father might also be God the Mother or Goddess. And she says, religions centered on the worship of a male God create moods and motivations that keep women in a state of psychological dependence on men and male authority, while at the same time legitimating the political and social authority of fathers and sons in the institutions of society. We are so grateful to Carol Christ. Carol, thank you for all you gave to humanity. Bless your sacred work. May it go farther and wider to women of the world. We bless your sacred journey in great appreciation. May you rest happily in the arms of Great Mother now, before you decide what you're going to do next. All hail Carol Christ. All hail Carol Christ. All hail Carol Christ. I feel our intention together is fulfilled. I believe that we have used this time wisely, allowing ourselves to understand completely what must be, or as completely as we can in an hour, completely what must be pruned for our greater good, and what we may choose to surrender to this process, and how we may choose to surrender to this good process. And remember, surrender does not mean giving up. Surrender simply means stepping back and not trying to control every little last damn thing about your life. So let's surrender to the good process.
I am grateful for the teachings of the Goddess Temple, the Queen teachings of Ava's brilliant, inspired teachings. Without this, we would carry on in a state of I believe, frustration and lack of energy, really, kind of like a stasis. But it is not so anymore, because we experience this now, and it is so fulfilling and so satisfying and so gratifying to be here with all of you goddess women, and with my priestess sisters, and with my teacher Ava and teacher Vajra. Blessed be.
Oh, blessed be. And I feel that in this circle, we are all teachers and taught. I really do. I learned so much from you, Mata, that it's just a joy to be in circle with you. Thank you. I don't know if we can spotlight Marcia. There she is. Okay, I think that's working. Marcia, can you express gratitude on behalf of our circle here?
What a gift it is to be able to gather sisters. It is a gift for which I feel so much gratitude for. I know that as we conclude today's service, so much to be shared, so much to be remembered. My gratitude is unlimited. I am ever so grateful to the goddess temple.
Blessed be. Blessed be. Thank you, members, for sticking with us through these amazing and challenging times. Support what you believe in, become a member. And to do that, all you have to do is text a picture of your credit card to this phone number and indicate how much you'd like to contribute monthly. We'll send you a beautiful lucite holder, your goddess inspiration box, and we will include in it your monthly picture, and you'll get a new picture every month that inspires you, that you can put on your altar or just somewhere in your house. So breathe into that, support what you believe in. The things that you believe in and you support are the things that will grow in the world. And as we pass our offering bowl, just bless it, and put whatever you can into it. And if you pay by mail, if you make your tithe by mail, just put your blessing into this offering. Oh, great goddess, wealth and prosperity, riches flow forth from inside thee. Give your blessing to that. Just, yeah, you Petra, you just put your blessing in that. You already made your contribution. Oh, so thank you, sisters. We so appreciate you. Great Mother, you have 10,000 names. You the nameless. We feel you and your energy within us. We call you by so many names today, Isis. But you are the one great power that is us, and we are you embodied on this earth. We are goddess walking. We are goddess walking. We are goddess walking. Thanking the ancestresses.
Ancestresses, those who revel in our lives, those who feel and sense and know and taste and see and hear through our bodies. We thank you, thank you, thank you. Guides and guardians, those who are with us every day, totem animals, those who speak to us, those who protect us and keep us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, powers of the North, wise woman, all that we've heard today, let us remember. Powers of the West, element of water, sovereign queen, we are all queens. And we remember, we are sovereign. Blessed be. Powers of the South, element of fire, mother, creatrix. We remember that we create. Our boundaries allow us to create. Pruning allows us to create. Blessed be. Blessed be. Powers of the East, element of air. The breezes, as we prune and sweep away, we remember. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Blessed be. Our circle is open, but unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Visualize with our entire circle, the women online and the women here in this room, we are all one. Visualize a warm hug being passed, breast to breast, chest to chest, back to back, hand to hand, belly to belly. Yes, yes, yes. This concludes our Women's Sunday services for today. Our next Sunday service is September 5th with Kuan Yin, and Full Harvest and Compassion will be the themes, with our guest priestess visiting, Dr. Mailuna. Thank you, sisters. Stay online for the social hour that will follow after the music in just a couple of minutes. Go get yourself a glass of something. I'm not telling you to get yourself a glass of wine. I'm just saying that could happen if you wished. And maybe somebody will get me a glass and listen to the beautiful music of Ruth Barrett singing the song that we always love to hear at this time of year. And we'll be back for the social hour. Unmute yourself and show your video if you want to participate. And let's have a beautiful chat session for half an hour. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
To the very edge where the old world ends. Something else begins. Something else begins.
Hi, Donna.
Go to the very edge where the old world ends. Something else begins. Something else begins.
But
You're just opening up the champagne.
unmute, Eva.
Bring some
Oh.
cups.
He doesn't mute it.
We're opening up the champagne. Marsha's bringing the cups.
There we go.
Just the paper cups are good enough, Marsh, on the table. This is some champagne that fabulous Donna brought. Donna, your champagne's in here. Oh, I can't get it open. Are you stronger? Get that open. The day Ava can't open. So I drink this in honor of wonderful Mata. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mata. You are utterly divine. Sing you.
You know, I got this.
I'm getting my glass.
You have a coffee cup.
Mata, Mata. All right, Mata, fly and be free.